spooky. First for the channel. Here we go. Right, Ted, I think we're already live, Ted. We got to get on there, mate. People waiting.
It's your spooky time, ladies, gents, and teddy bears. Welcome to the Halloween special.
Oh yeah.
Slash your energy bills over.
Oh dear, what's that? Bit of an advert there, don't want an advert. Happy Halloween! And we've chosen this beautiful theme of witch. Why not? Because witches fly. Oh no! Witches hat down! Witches hat. Witches hat down! Witches hat down! Ladies. What a fun start! Oh, is it actually vanished? Oh, is that it there? In that. Witches hat down. Oh man, well, we have startups. Beautiful. And a very, very warm welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from in the world. Happy Halloween, and hope you're all good and well. And we've got this is the a special besom, as they called it, and this is a type of B variant, a Stovall broomstick that's Ted's got. It's powered by Pratt & Whitney's F-135 PW 5 million, and it's got Rolls-Royce's lift system with a few branches on there added. So you know this is going to be a funny day, right? Brilliant. Welcome to RAF Marham, and a big happy Halloween to all personnel at RAF Marham. Hope you're all well, and of course our fans and viewers, happy Halloween. And Actually, where's my hat? If you think... This is funny. This is hilarious, buddy. This is just going to be a funny line. Right. My name's Nikos. I'm your witch for the day. Oh! Do you like my little witch hat I got here? I got that from Glastonbury while I was a couple of years back, actually. I got this. Let me just move this. It's such a funny day. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. See, Ted and I are matching. Yeah. Although Ted's besom. Ted, you're right with that hat, mate. Yeah, you're going to be all right. We've already had a witch's hat down, but Ted and I are matching. Look at this. Yeah, I haven't got a broomstick, unfortunately. Actually, I do. Tell a lie. It's a plastic. Is it Addison or whatever? Is it? Yeah, the one beginning with A. Yeah. That one. Yes. Oh, hello. Welcome to our spooky show where things are just going to go really strange today. But we do have, to our delight, startups from the F-35s. See ya! Oh, brilliant. I did let the base know, when I phoned them, I did let them know that I was wearing a witch's hat and not to, you know. And air traffic control as well, just to let you know, I haven't filed a flight plan because I'm not flying today in my witch's hat, but oh dear, you gotta have a laugh, have to have a laugh. Anyway, back to Marham. How are we doing? We've got F-35Bs. These are the B variant. These are the ones that hover like a witch. Actually, we got two flashy, and possibly we definitely got two, which is a good one. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little bit like unprepared in some ways. I know that sounds strange for someone that's been doing it for a while, but I had my doubts about today because, you know, I just thought, yeah, just the nature of it. But here we are with F-35Bs. Now, the station is, hello, the station is home. I mean, it adds the effect of spookiness with the little piggies there in the background. The base is home to 3 squadrons, and it's shared by both Royal Navy and Royal Air Force pilots as well. We have, let's start with the latest squadron. In 2023, as late as December, standing back up is 809 Naval Air Squadron, the Immortals, a legendary squadron that played a major part in the Falklands. We've also got 207 Squadron, which is the operational conversion unit here, who are like 29 Squadron at Coningsby. They train the latest and greatest new recruits on a specific aircraft. At Coningsby, number 29, they deal with the Typhoon. If the career path for a pilot is the F-35B, they will come here with 207 Squadron. Whether you are Royal Navy or whether you're going to be in the career of the Royal Air Force, you will come here with 207 Squadron. So they do both. And interestingly, 207 Squadron's history started off as number 7 Naval Air Squadron, interestingly. And they have a lot of rich history as well, like lots of the squadrons. 207 Squadron boasting the very first squadron to operate the Avro Manchester. Echo Mike were their squadron markings back in the days, and of course, not much introduction required, but made specifically started life out as Squadron X, a secret squadron with Alpha Juliet as their squadron markings, once led by Wing Commander Guy Gibson. Interestingly related to Scampton, of course, but they actually did most of their operations at RAF Woodhall Spa. It is indeed Dambusters Squadron, 617 Squadron. They also had Yankee Zulu as their markings back in the days in the Lancaster, when it was equipped with the Grand Slam 22,000 pounder. Oh yeah. you're all good, and happy Halloween on this spooky day. These are the F-35Bs. These are the ones that can hover, and it's an answer to improving upon the Harrier, which it has done indeed. And just quickly, a big shout out to 15 Squadron RAF Regiment, 2620 Squadron RAF Auxiliary Air Force Regiment, that's also based here, 6 RAF Police and Security Squadron, the Lightning Force HQ as well. Big shout out to them. And let's big up the Lightning Ladies Rugby team, who made history not too long ago as well. So yes, the F-35B, which we'll talk to you about in just a moment, it does have a Pratt & Whitney F135, but it's the PW600 variant to make room for a 1.2-ton Rolls-Royce lift fan. And you've got to remember that that's a lot of designated space. That's a lot of designated space just for vertical landings, and of course short takeoff as well. You've got to appreciate that that's a lot of room. Hence the air-to-air refueling method is a drogue and probe method. It has a ejecting probe in an envelope on the starboard side, because the boomstick would normally go in where the lift fan is, and that's again another compromise. And you've got to remember, again, the F-35, all variants, they got a maximum speed of Mach 1.6. Now, you've got to remember, the Harrier wasn't supersonic either. Okay, so it wasn't, it's designed for loitering time. But here, what you've got the benefits of being stealth, you've got the benefits of having all those avionics and amazing systems such as the EOT system, the electro-optical targeting system, RAM, that's radar absorbing material. I'll talk to you about the designs as it progressed. And of course, you've got that amazing capability of doing this short takeoff, which is wonderful. Oh, canopy's gone back up. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Okay. And a big shout out to all the crew of Rolls-Royce as well. And thank you for the info. They kindly told me about the counter-rotating fans on the lift system. The first stage, so there's 2 when that hood lifts up inside. And that one's is a whole complete titanium blisk. I know. And then the next set of blades are actually individual. The blades are connected like a traditional compressor. I didn't know that, but thanks to Rolls-Royce, they let me know. How we all doing? Happy Halloween. Right. Trick is going to be a traditional takeoff. Treat will be a vertical landing, right? Let's see. RAF Marham, packed with lots of history. The vicinity has several Royal Flying Corps stations. And for one, past Royal Flying Corps Bexwell, just near Barton Bendish. Not much is left, but on Google Maps you can still see the airstrip that was once used. Also not too far away, maybe just 3 miles if that. Used to have started life as Royal Naval Air Station Narborough, but that changed to a Royal Air Force station. And of course Marham itself, another defender of Norfolk, with the several Royal Flying Corps stations protecting Norfolk against the Zeppelin attacks. Has a lot of history here, from Wellington, Stirlings to Boeing Washingtons, 115, 105 squadrons. Plenty of squadrons making their mark, and of course the de Havilland Mosquito. Also having history here. And a big shout out to those wonderful crew at the Marham Aviation Heritage Centre as well. Have a look at their website for their opening times. They're open a couple of days a week. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday, with the last Saturday of each month being a open day. But do check just in case they are not open on a particular day that you're planning to go. Author Ken Delve has written some wonderful books about Marham and its history and the surrounding airfields of Norfolk. Bit of a spooky sound effects in the background there. And of course, how are we all doing? And the statement as you drive past the main gate. I love the statement. If you were a pilot beginning your career as an F-35 pilot, I love the statement outside the buildings of the squadrons. It says 5th gen starts here. It's a really good statement. I love that. I mean, that's such an inspiration to, you know, if you were a junior pilot just starting your career. Runway 23 is in use. They have 2 runway strips, 0523 and 0119. 0119 made of the asphalt, a softer, robust material. They can do their training on there as well. I believe they do like air carrier training on there as well. I think Coldros have something like that. And yes, I brought the map with me from 19... Oh. It's... I'll have to show you my Dartmoor one, military one, where some things sort of... Well, it's not a civilian one, this one. This one's quite cool. That one's cool. I'll show you that one. But I haven't got it here, but I'll bring it next time. They smell good, old maps as well. Was it Bartholomew's maps? Yeah! Oh yeah! They're cool. Perez Mapman Bush is the man. I do love a map as well. When I was a kid, I was obsessed. I used to have my OS map of Western-super-Mare. I used to try to navigate. Western Woods was the kitchen. There you go, imagination. Here we go. So welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel. Before we begin, don't forget to give the like button a spooky treat. Give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to your one and only Ted Coningsby channel. These guys, broomstick, made by Pratt & Whitney and Rolls-Royce. Speaking of which, on the way to around Ely, there's quite a few witch-themed villages and towns, I think, like Coveney, Witchford, Witcham. Yeah, Witcham Toll, is it? And there was a base, RAF Witchford, actually.
My grandfather worked there.
Did he? Awesome. Yeah, I'll have a look if I can, I know there's a little heritage museum there. I think they're building on it. I think they're extending that would be quite cool. Maybe a potential lost airfield, so I'll have a look at that. It's not far away. So, Friday, and we're at Marham, and Friday about quick climbs. Now, here at Marham, it's all about the vertical landings, and I will be talking to you about the F-35 in just a moment, but we'll be specifically talking about the B variant as well, and what it can do, and how it hovers. Not many people know how it hovers and why it can hover. It may sound simple at first, but I'll show you the things it can do and the things it doesn't choose to do. There are 3 landing pads here. I think there are 67 meters by 67 meters with a 31 meter landing zone. They are square. For some reason, I actually thought they were circular. I wonder if the Harriers had circular landing pads. Just going to correct myself, it's 30.5 meters by 30.5. I was 50 centimeters out. And although the F-35B has some form of thrust vectoring, it's not like your thrust vectoring on an F-22, for example. It's specifically for vertical landing, slow low approaches, because it does have a max speed it can operate under, and that's at 250 miles per hour. And it's called a free bearing swivel module, and it's set in 3 sections, and it is actually amazing. If you ever seen, I mean, one day, you never know, I might be fortunate enough to go on a carrier with the little ski jump on a short takeoff, as they call it. The ramp is amazing because the swivel module, the free BSM, actually moves in contour with the gradient of the departure, which means it's constantly keeping the same sort of 45-degree angle at times, because of course as you elevate using the ramp, then it's obviously the angle changes. It's really amazing to see that. And it can swivel a little bit from left to right just to keep it stable as well. But I'll give you a full rundown on the F-35B with our model that we use. So a very good morning to all our viewers. Williams 88, Argan, Daniel Walker, how you all doing? Hope you're well. Fritz, Margot Baxter, how you doing as well? Richie B, Paul Mayers, Alan Q, Scorcher, how you doing as well? Margot, Paul Henry, how are we all doing? Muzz Mason as well, Ollie U. Your names are still at the old usernames, or the original usernames, unfortunately, yet. That hasn't been rectified yet, but we've got the Bat of Purple. Thank you for tuning in. Babzar as well, EP65. I'm just scrolling down as quick as I can. And a very good morning and happy Halloween to all of our viewers. So we've got a couple of 2 F-35Bs just spooling there with their Pratt & Whitney F135 PW600 engines. Oh yeah. A lot of weight reduction has had to be implemented on the F-35B due to the extra weight. I mean, we're talking 1.2 tons for the lift fan itself. But of course, if you want it to hover without bother, you know how it is. The markings on the hangar are for 207 Squadron. As we mentioned, they are the operational conversion unit for the F-35B. The G rating is a +7 on the airframe. It has less internal fuel load than the other two at 13,500 pounds. To give you an idea, the F-35A is 18,250. Weapons payload, they've had to cut that down by 3,000 pounds. It's 15,000 pound of payload as opposed to 18,000 on the A and the C variant. Has a max takeoff weight of 60,000 pounds. Empty weight at 32,472, whereas the empty weight on an F-35A is just short of 29,000 pounds. With full fuel, the F-35B does actually have a better thrust to weight ratio. But only by a bit. It doesn't have an arrestor hook, for those wondering. There are a few differences. It is actually the shortest one by about 10 centimetres. So we're just waiting for taxi clearance. Oh, we got yep, we got a bit of movement. Here we go. Here we go. I was, do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was just hoping for even just one departure. Let's get a Halloween special going.
Jumping in the spare. One of them's going in the spare.
Okay. The F-35B, when it was a BF-1 as its prototype, flew on the 11th of June 2008. While the first weight optimised F-35V and the F-35C, known as the AF-1 and the CF-1, they flew on the 14th of November 2009. Marham used to have an amazing legacy with the English Electric Canberra here. Over 50 years or so, 53 years of Canberra operations and resonation with the Tornado as well. first F-35Bs that arrived at Marham was on the 6th of June 2018. 4 F-35Bs of 617 Squadron touchdown, and the announcement on the 5th of July 2017 of 207 Squadron being the operational conversion unit for the F-35 here. Six F-35Bs of 207 Squadron arrived at Marham from Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort on the 16th of July 2019. It became officially reformed 1st of August 2019. And in 2019, that's when the Tornado GR4 retired from the service, and the F-35B Lightning Force declared its IOC, initial operating capability. 207 Squadron were then the operational conversion unit. 2023, as we mentioned earlier, in December, the 809 Naval Air Squadron. It became the nation's second frontline fighter unit to operate the F-35B. With their first sortie the following year, 809, it was their first ever independent sortie on the F-35B. Oh, there's a couple of hairs. Lovely light, actually. Going for it. Hello. So just a little delay on the departure there. Captain A, how you doing? All good in the green. Alan Burden, how you doing? Leah, they are fast indeed. Hello, Avro. And it was here that this year's RAF Typhoon display pilot, squadron leader Nathan Scheuer, becoming the last ever Tornado pilot to be trained. So you may hear another start-up on the F-35B. So one of the questions I get asked quite a lot, which will make sense once I show you the model that I've got on the F-35B, can they take off vertically? Because they are a STOVL aircraft, short takeoff, vertical landing. The answer is they can, but with the weight that they would have to carry if they were going to be fully loaded and fully fueled. They will be stressing that aircraft very much, but they do a short takeoff, and believe me, it's very, very short, shorter than the Typhoon, hence it can do a short takeoff on a carrier. Although the Typhoon doesn't need a lot of a runway either. But it's Rolls-Royce that put the vertical lift in the F-35B Lightning. Now, you may notice I do omit the number 2, the Lightning 2, because the RAF have had 3 Lightnings, so they omit the 2. So of course there was the P-38 Lightning, due to a few changes on the specifications required. One of them being, actually, interestingly, the direction of the propellers on the P-38 Lightning. The RAF preferred them to turn one way. Don't know which direction, but they were originally counter-rotating due to the amount of torque, but they found that wasn't very good, and also the lack of the power on the booms, on the twin fuselage booms that they had on the superchargers. I think they were omitted. It was just not quite right, and it was completely underpowered. That was cancelled. And of course the English Electric Lightning becoming the second Lightning in the RAF's inventory of historic aircraft, shall we say, and this will be the 3rd Lightning, so they omit the 2. You will notice, however, on Airfix models, I did email Airfix, they kindly replied. They had a Dambusters 617 with a F-35B and a Lancaster, but they had Lockheed Martin Lightning 2. They said they had to put the 2 due to copyright reasons, trademark. There you go, there's your answer. But it is indeed Rolls-Royce that put in the lift system. It's the only vertical lift technology for fighter jets in production in the world. It is really unrivaled, and its performance of the lift system comes part of the latest and greatest in digital control and fan system technology. Delivers responsive, precise and powerful short takeoff, which I'll just show you now, and the vertical landing. And it has minimal impact on the total airframe weight itself, which is why they choose to do a vertical, a short takeoff. And the system is, when I show you, is a descendant of the Pegasus engine, comprised of the Rolls-Royce lift fan, the drive shaft, and some of the stats are just phenomenal. The lift fan is capable of delivering 20,000 pounds of cold thrust on its own. So let's have a quick look of what's going on here. How does it hover? And can it hover without the landing gear? The answer is actually yes, simple as that. So traditionally, I do break parts on this by accident. There we go, there's our F-35B. You can tell the F-35B there, no internal cannon. I always call it a hoodie. If you look at it from the front, an A variant, you will have these missing. You'll just see the canopy almost like a bubble, even though it's not, but it looks like a bubble. But here you've got a shrouding hoodie there. Right, so what's going on here? How does it all work, Nikos? Well, there's a 1.2 ton lift system in here. It's almost like a vertically aligned engine. 20,000 pounds of cold thrust on its own in here. All right, the first thing you'll notice is the auxiliary air intake. Now let's have a look at that. This opens up, and that sort of pipe there, that's a shaft. Now from here, this part here, that's your Pratt & Whitney F135 engine, right? The power, 29,000 pounds of shaft horsepower is delivered from this shaft, from that F-35 engine, to power the lift fan. All right, now then you'll notice underneath this opens up, and I'll talk to you about those grills there, and then the hood lifts up, opens up, and there's our Rolls-Royce 50-inch diameter lift system. It is pretty much like having a helicopter inside. Now that first stage fan that you can see on the top, that spins one way, and that is one complete blisk. All right, the blades, shall we say, are not like teeth, they're not connected. It's one complete unit that spins one way, but the blades underneath, they spin the other way, and they are traditional blades where they're put on. All right, so this is spinning and it's pushing down thrust here. All right, but that's not enough to keep it hovering. These grills, interestingly, by the way, these slats, they move forward and back. they can actually make the F-35B move forward and back in hover. All right. Now, this is an auxiliary air intake. You can take care of FOD, that kind of thing. I'll talk to you about the design as well. You remember, if we go back to our F-35 and the serrations everywhere, you'll notice that the hood doesn't have the serrations. Why? Because they did have a 2-door system at first on a prototype. You have a look, similar to this. It didn't like the airflow. They did have a serration on the hood, didn't like the airflow. It needed to be smooth, so there was a compromise of having that round. Now, that is having a lot of power here pushing down, but that's not enough to keep this hovering. Let's have a look at the free bearing swivel module, which moves at 95 degrees in about 2.5 seconds. Here it is. This opens up, and then you've got this that pushes down. That's our free BSM, and it's in 3 parts. I'll have to show you a little diagram of how that works, all right? Now that's pushing down the thrust all the way down and here. Now the bypass that's on the F-35, that's what it uses in these so-called roll posts, which are positioned here, and that can make the aircraft pitch from left to right. Then you've got your slats here that move the aircraft forward and back when it hover. So you've actually got 2 thrusts coming down, one from the free bearing swivel module nozzle at the back. It can tilt from left to right to become more stable in windy conditions to keep it hovering. It is absolutely incredible. The masterpiece that linked Rolls-Royce to the Pratt & Whitney's engine is amazing. Short takeoff, it will go at 45 degrees, and if it's on a carrier, as it's going up on the using the gradients and of the ski jump, shall we call it, this is moving as well to make sure it's constantly got about 45 degrees. All right, and that's called a short takeoff, and it is absolutely impressive. If you've got any questions of how it works, there is an optional blue tack that it can land on your desk at home or anything like that. It is an amazing piece of kit, and they've done free bearing swivel module. It's in 3 sections. If you've ever seen a diagram of it moving, it is amazing. They've done it that way so that it doesn't make the aircraft go out of control. It doesn't need the landing gear, all right, to operate the STOVL mode, okay, and it can only operate the STOVL mode at a maximum 250 miles per hour. It is not like a thrust vector where it can do you know, etc. Like the F-22. It is literally for short takeoff and vertical landing. So we are just waiting for the spare to start. It is an amazing piece of kit. Is a beautiful feat of engine.
0900.
Okay. Oh.
It's the Escort also.
There is another 2. Oh, there might be spares. Oh no. Oh wow. Spooky time. Oh, I did. There was a NOTAM with this air-to-air refueling. Ah, makes sense.
There's a few big kickling up. Went for yogurts and things.
Oh, we get to see something.
Yeah.
Loving the Halloween themed jokes there. Beautiful. lovely to have the sun out. Goodness me. I was beginning to think it disappeared for a while. AWCU. He's chasing something. Have to have a cup of tea, ain't? Overall good, ladies and steady bears. Just waiting for departure clearance. Might just grab a quick cup of tea. It's a little bit breezy, but it's nice to have the sun out. It's quite nice. 1 second. Cup of tea quickly. about the delay, but these things happen. Everything needs clearance, of course. When it comes to aviation, there are lots of traffic up in the skies, as you can imagine, with both civilian and military. Say the clouds and skies look good. Amazing to think that Marham opened all the way back in 1916, way over 100 years. 109 years. Although closed after the First World War, reopened in 1937, and it opened as a heavy bomber unit. So we've got two F-35Bs if you just joined us. They're just waiting for taxi and departure clearance to go with that. Foodage?
30,000 feet.
Alright. It's quite high up, isn't it? Yeah, very high. 32,000 feet. It's a Bit of a neck
Oh,
breaker.
there they are. Oh, three of them. Bloody hell.
Is it? Oh, yes. And that's a bit of a neck breaker. Yeah, it's a bit of a neck breaker. It looks good. Oh, wow. I will I'll do my best to get that. $38,000 feet now.
38.
Wow. Nice one there, Flash DJ 1974. Thank you very much. Apologies for the username as opposed to your handle on the YouTube there. Sorry about that, but thank you very much all the same. Thank you, very kind of you. Justin Edwards as well, thank you very much for being a member for 24 months and also a member of the Fighter Squadron as well. Lots of you, thank you so much. Well, we get to hear the sound of the F-135 PW600 engines there. Nice sounds. But just hope they get the taxi clearance very shortly. Marham as well. It's a Marham one. How nice is that though? The livery is just 57. Didn't they have one as a Guardian once?
They did, yeah, and then it complained so much they couldn't move it. And it torn to pieces. Oh gosh. So it's where the tornadoes come.
Oh yeah. Ah. We always see random stuff here, you know that. Every time we're here,
That stuff, yeah.
that was quite cool to see that, especially with the contrails as well. Then that was cool.
Just happened to look at the phone.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I would never see that, and then oh. Still waiting. Hope we're all good. I've just managed to get another iconic aircraft that was here. One that was actually here with this very I mean, what an iconic aircraft. Look at this. Part of the V-Force, and brought a new life and taking the Royal Air Force into the air-to-air refuelling era. Of course, started as one of the 3 V-bomber, the V-Force, Vulcan, Victor, Valiant, which, to be fair, the air-to-air refuelling era gave them a bit of new life and took part in the Black Buck raids of the Falklands. Such a real beautiful aircraft. Amazing. Oh, I love that tail as well. Forgot about that. The way it's sort of beautiful. Oh man, that's such a good looking aircraft. I'm getting flashbacks of last year's Halloween special where we had startups and they went back due to the fog, and all we had was a 6-hour wait, or maybe 7, with a C-17 coming into land. Only just, they had to go around because of the really bad, poor visibility. So, well, I'm getting flashbacks of this at the moment. But hey, we're here, we're giving you a show, so enjoy, and it's good fun to have you all here with us. Show you this. This is an old airframe. Quite nice to hear because yeah, I believe so. There's all sorts of stuff going on.
ZJ9s are so rare.
I know. Yeah, there's the 950 that's always at Coningsby. That's good. I think the ones in the Falklands have ZJs on them. I think.
Oh, do they?
I think there was one that came, whether it was going to the Falklands or come back. You've never seen one before. So it had the 1435 flight.
Yes, God, I love
that was
crest, isn't it?
That was at Lossy. So whether it was going there or coming back, because I think they're rotating. Yeah. But I've never seen it. It didn't fly, but it was towed. But it was nice to see the markings. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's a nice looking crest.
Oh, sounds good. This happened last year. Right, I think we got taxi clearance after all. hello. It's, obviously didn't land very well. So we'll just wait for their departure. Welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel, our Halloween special. Hopefully it's a good one. Now I just thought that, you know, the crash teams, they do practice, and the fire rescue teams, they do practice on these. That's what they're there for. Okay, so 2 F-35Bs to go out. We've been waiting for a while, actually, bless them. Okay, here we go. You alright, Pete? How you doing, man? All right?
Yeah, you all?
Yeah, good, man.
You done mission?
No, they're just about to take off now. Oh, nice one. Thank you so much. hopefully. Oi, oi. Wow, still more delays by the sound of it. sure what's going on, but still waiting for clearance by the sound of it. This is definitely becoming like last year's Halloween special at the moment. Oh man. Huh?
Wait for a tank.
Yeah, I did see it was coming. Is that the one coming back? This is.
So wait for a launch time for the tank before I can go.
This is like last year's Halloween special. You're right, Martin. Yeah. Oh man.
What the foggy heat?
Yeah, 6 hours of nothing,
C-70.
and they taxied, but it was too foggy, and they taxied back. This is becoming the same scenario. But keep the tradition going. It's fine.
Well, that was right on the Friday when we were here, wasn't it? Ish.
Yeah.
We know where they're going.
Hmm?
We know where we're going. They're going.
Yeah. Well, they haven't dragged them away yet, so if they start dragging them away, that's yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a good night from him, man. Oh,
You know where we're going after. Well, I'm going after it.
okay. Oh, okay. nice. Oh man.
At the moment it looks like it's only these two and they're going away back. 6 jets and then the tanker's got some.
Well, there we go, ladies, gents, teddy bears. It's just one of those things today.
Camera day.
Yeah, might go and have a cup of tea. Okay, I'll yeah, the one you can see prominently, that's the one that was originally going to go.
Right.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, that wasn't very happy this morning.
Now the lid's closed on it as well.
So, but there is another one to the left.
Yeah, I can see 4.
So I don't know if it's,
No, there was 4 sat there earlier.
I don't know if it's 2 spares or 1
Yeah.
spare. So we'll see.
I wonder if these are going up where you Typhoon twin. The 3 that came over.
Yeah, we see them. That was cool.
Yeah, I saw it. I just,
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
There's 3 there. They're in the middle of France.
Wow. How are we doing, ladies, gents, teddy bears, and oi, oi, you all right? How you doing, man? What are you doing? Hang on, aren't you on holiday?
I was yet come back yesterday.
Oh right, I thought you made like a 7-hour journey to get here.
No.
All right, how you doing, man? All right.
Good, mate. You? Yeah, really good, mate.
Good times, good times. How you doing, Philip? GJC. Sorry about the usernames on here, but thanks for your 4 months membership. A Witch's flight for you. And Mr. Grimsdale, thank you very much for your 30 months membership. Good morning, Nikos, Ted, and all in the coven. A Witch's flight for you. The Battered Purple, thank you very much for your super sticker. A Witch's flight for you. And John Parrott, thank you very much. Oi oi. A Witch's flight to you as well. And Paul Henry, hello from Liverpool. Hope all okay. And thanks very much to Margot Baxter for the super chat as well. Happy Halloween. What desserts do ghosts prefer? Ice cream. Here's to a good weekend all. Very good. Scorcher, thanks for your 26-month membership. And HDog1 with 32 months membership. You've come a long way. Thank you very much for that. And Muzz Mason, thank you very much for the super sticker. A Witch's flight for you. Happy Halloween, everyone. Have a great Halloween. Muzz Mason, a Witch's 5 and a flight for you. Thank you for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Justin Edwards with 2 years. Thank you very much. Hang on, Ted, that Witch's hat is going to go, I think. 2 years milestone, 2 years green badge. Thanks, and thanks for being a member of the Fighter Squadron. And also got Gary, a Witch's 5 and a Paw Pump and a Witch's flight for you for gifting 5 Ted Coningsby memberships. And Gary, thank you very much for the super chat. Have a fantastic weekend, and you as well. A Witch's flight for you. Doncaster Lass, Witch's flight for you as well. What are Zombie's favourite toy? A Dead-Eye Bear. Sorry, Ted. Hello, Al. Thanks for the super chat. Dawn Hobson with 27 months membership. Hi, everyone. Enjoy the stream. Thank you very much. Heather Holloway. Happy Halloween, Ted, Nikos, and crew. Oi, oi. Witch's Flight for you. And Margot, thank you very much for the super sticker. Alan Q, thank you as well for the super sticker. Witch's Flight there. Jack's Flying High. Thank you for another stream to keep me entertained at my desk. Thank you very much. Tim Gooch. Hey, Witch's 5. Witch's Flight for you. Thanks for gifting a Ted Coningsby membership. Aviation 19, thank you very much as well. Witch's Flight for you. And Avro Al with 31 months membership. Witch's Flight. Is that a Stolvo broom? It is. It is a Stolvo broom. It taken, but it's a VTOL. It's a vertical takeoff and landing and short takeoff. It's a V-STOL aircraft. Vertical, short takeoff and landing. So we did get to see F-35B's taxiing, just not airborne. So we're just waiting for any news. I might just go and grab a quick cup of tea. Well, that's military aviation for you. It does have its challenges as a spectator, of course. The Nimbus 35T, I like that. So we're just going to have to yeah, I've got mine as well, man. Well, oh dear. Yeah, man,
Good, mate. How are you? I'm very good, mate.
Right,
yeah,
you're
really good, mate.
Good
Yeah.
holiday? Hello,
Yeah, it's really not well, apart from the weather. It just rained.
Good,
We made the most of it.
Exactly, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we come back late yesterday. We're late on tonight, so I said,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I said, I'll pop
Was it the Texan?
That's it, yeah.
That's cool.
Pictures we got there, 2 F-15s that were flying straight through.
Nice.
But obviously because I was driving, didn't have time to film it. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah, we just been Wales.
Yeah.
Valley. Yeah, they have, yeah. Lots of we got there just there, 15, Black Hawks go through. Weather was really, really bad. It's not civic blue skies.
Yeah.
It's just been grey or wet. Yeah. I hit the skyline. But I visit that yesterday. Visit lately. Because they're not.
Yeah, an old frame.
Yeah.
ZJ946. That was a strange one there. Another ground repair training. Yeah. gents, teddy bears. Well, it must be frustrating for the pilots and all the planning that goes into the sorties and training and what have you. And well, these things do happen. Just waiting. They haven't taxied back. Not yet. We've still got 2 F-35s in the hangars, and if they tow these away, that'll be it, unfortunately. But we'll keep persevering. We'll stay as long as we can. Ginger Bailey, how you doing? Hope you're good. Summer Watch on, Michael Woodringe, Mark Ben, LEJ Approach, Margot Bex, how you doing? Jenny B, John Merton, Tim Gooch, hope you're all well, and a happy Halloween to you. Literally a trick and treat right here. Although we're getting a trick at the moment. to report, sadly, at this stage. Hope we're all good. I'll keep you posted as best as I can. But lots of flashbacks from last year with Halloween, and the year before that as well. If you remember, the year before, we went to Hull Beach, I think it was, and that got rained off and cancelled. And that didn't go down very well either. So maybe this is a sign to say, hey, Halloween specials. But hey, it's still it's not over yet. The weather's just deteriorating. We are expecting the weather to get quite emotional around 1400 local, so that will end that. I think the aerodrome NOTAM is only until 1430, I think it is, or thereabouts. Runway, were we? And then the year before that, I was at Hull Beach and it got rained and everything cancelled. It's not looking good for Halloween special.
Because it was Lake and Egg last year, and then here on Friday.
Yes. It's haunting. Yes, it's haunting.
It was that one C-17 that did the go around.
Yeah, we couldn't see it. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was like, it was really bad.
We went to we went to Milford after that. Beautiful blue skies.
Always the way.
Couldn't see a thing at
I hope you're all good. We should, fingers crossed, should have a departure soon. Must be, like I said, must be frustrating for the pilots. Bless them. I have heard them on the air-to-air. Just keeping focused.
We were in Folly, so I was looking across the forest, and there was a little curtain.
Silver Trick, thank you very much.
And then the plane came out the top, and then it's this beautiful, a bit like sometimes right outside there.
Oh, nice.
They got a light simulator, and it's supposed to be 16, but they let him talk to the driver and to simulate it. They were well impressed. He actually got it off the ground and landed it without sticking it in the field. And they went out over the Solent, low approach aircraft carrier. No.
Anything is my son's thing.
Yeah.
Road.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful.
It's still piloted by the RAF.
We have two F-35Bs, runway 23. They're still waiting for departure clearance. That's what we're waiting for. We've still got these two under the hangars here, which is a good sign in some ways, but when we see them being towed away, that is it for us. But the fact they're still in there, that's good, I think. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on the Halloween special. It's always good. At least you got, for those that don't know how the F-35B works, at least you got to see that. We saw the 3 Typhoons flying high and dry at a good 38,000 feet. Just caught them. It was a bit of a backbreaker to get them. It was right over our heads.
I don't know, but that's the truth.
Oh man. Have they been started up for about 2 hours, I think?
2 hours have been going.
That's what they did. Tanker.
Yeah.
It just shows how little fuel they use. How big running.
Like I said, they still sit down there running.
Thank you, Julianne, for that. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the super chat as well. Jenny B as well. Thank you, all of you.
Still no tanker, right?
So it's Halloween specials are living up to their trend at the minute. So what we'll do.
They're on 2 weeks leave, aren't they? Arrows?
Yeah.
Another. Oops. play a little game really quickly while we wait. A little game here. Oh, the canopy's up on that one. In 1950, 4 of 70 Boeing, no, I've just nearly, yeah, B-29s. These are B-29 here. This is 115 markings that was here in 1950. But do you know the designation? What was the name that the RAF called this? Although it is a B-29, of course, in different air forces, they're called different things. Answers in the comments. What did the RAF call the B-29 in their inventory? They had about 87 in total. And there was 4 here in 1950. If you know the answers, put it in the comments. This is 115 squadron markings, although it should be an Oscar, that K-O. Looks like a Delta, but there we go. So Bryce Norton are about to launch a Voyager. It's just popped up now. It was indeed the Boeing Washington B-1, correct? Charlie, what? That's
backtrack.
Ah. Dear, it's not good. And also they could be backtracking, which is oh no, they can't be backtracking. Backtrack is going the opposite way.
Coming back.
So the opposite.
We're talking about backtrack now, this taxiway.
Oh, the taxiway here. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, backtrack on a runway is going the opposite way. that the runway is in use. Oh, this is turning out to be a very interesting day. The pigs are just loving life at the minute. Or are they? Dee-dee. Right. Well, this is going to be another Halloween special that will be remembered for the wrong reasons. Unbelievable. Not a lot we could do. The pigs are really not happy about this. I can hear them in the background. Can you hear them? Well, we tried. That car looks emotional, doesn't it? Well, there we go. Yeah.
Taxi back and then go to the hole.
So I'm not sure what's going on now. Just the way it is, unfortunately. So they were waiting for a tanker, and the tanker's declined. So
They've gone out as ghosts.
Oh yeah, they do have a call sign Ghost,
Ghost,
don't
yeah.
they? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's, so if they required a tanker for whichever reasons for their sortie and it cancelled, that's the end of that sortie. And of course, you can't just fly anywhere you want. You've got to resubmit flight plans, etc., and they need to be given clearance. There we go. Unfortunately, this can happen, but let's see what's going to happen with the F-35Bs here. Will we get another sortie? We don't know. We just have to wait and see. Thanks a lot, Mark Moody. Thank you very much. Nat Sav, how you doing as well? Thank you. Belly Bobcat as well. Thank you very much. They are quite excited today.
Well, you'd be not at food time. What's Scran out?
Oh yeah. Oh dear. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to have to just ride this out and wait. In the meantime. So there we go. But for those who joined us, thank you very much for tuning in on our Halloween special. It's living up to its tradition of things just not quite right, but there we go. We did get to see F-35Bs. They were so low, they looked like they weren't off the ground. There we go. But welcome to RAF Marham. A history of Marham dates back all the way to August the 1916 and started life as a Royal Flying Corps airfield, and it was built close to Royal Naval Air Station Narborough, which later changed to RAF Narborough. Marham was built to defend Norfolk from the Zeppelin raids, and the first Royal Flying Corps unit to operate at Marham was number 51 Squadron. Aircraft such as the Royal Aircraft Factory FE2B as well been used, were flown, and the biplanes were night bombers, and the Aircraft Factory FE2B powered by one Beardmore 6-cylinder water-cooled inline piston engine producing 160 horsepower. And Marham was also serving as a training base for night flying with 51, 190 and 191 and 193 squadrons, who were training squadrons based here at Marham. And during the First World War, the Royal Air Force formed during the war on the 1st of April 1918 as the Royal Flying Corps merged with the Royal Naval Air Service. When the end of the war, the First World War came, on armistice, Marham bombed neighbouring Narborough with bags of flour, and in return Narborough bombed Marham with bags of soot. And the last squadron, 51 Squadron, left Marham in 1919 as the aerodrome closed. Now, just to give you a perspective, around about 300 airfields at the end of the First World War, and that shrunk to 27 by 1924, so just 5 years. And while this was all going on, things started to happen in Germany in 1935, where Göring was put into selected to become the chief minister of the air power. Now I say that because it wasn't quite official. It was subject to being prohibited to rearm after the First World War. The Hague and the Treaty of Versailles and other treaties making sure that they wouldn't rearm, but things did change as Goring made the largest air force ever in history at that time by rearming, but doing it in a very clever way, in secret, by making aircraft dubbed as civilian, but they weren't really. They were actually military aircraft, and by 1939 they had a good power of around 8,000 aircraft. Very scary when you think about it, when it was all done in secrecy. And after the First World War, things did settle down, but there had to be careful consideration into the thought of possibilities of war ever happening again. And new RAF airfields were built and commissioned by the AMAB, which is the Air Ministry Aerodromes Board, which was created then, and in 1935 the RAF's pre-war expansion scheme commenced. So around about the same time, in the same year that Hitler and Goring were in power, or at least, sorry, got that slightly wrong, 1933, it's not 35, but 1935 the RAF had the expansion programme. 38 Squadron, who were operating the Handley, Page, Hayford at Mildenhall, arrived here first, with being the new residents of Marham, with the Ferry Hendon bombers. Expansion programmes included other bases such as Waddington, Feltwell, and of course here. The B flight of 38 Squadron reformed into 115 Squadron, who fly at RAF Wittering today, training our future generation on the Grob shooter. And they were flying the Handley Page Harrow, and by 1939 both squadrons received the world's fastest assembled bomber and the most RAF bomber produced during the Second World War for the Royal Air Force. It was indeed the Vickers Wellington bomber, produced around 11,461, made in 16 different variants, had a right set of different engines. Started life with the Pegasus on the Mark 1, Mark 2 had a Rolls-Royce Merlin, Mark 3 had the Bristol Hercules. There was a Mark that had a Pratt & Whitney engine in there actually, that I discovered. I can't remember which one, and then the later models eventually proved itself with the Bristol Hercules as the favoured, more powerful or suited engine during that time. In 1940, 218 Squadron moved to Marham, also operating the Wellington bombers, who eventually converted to the RAF's First World War II 4-engine bomber, the Short Stirling. Marham was getting busy, and in 1941, 105 Squadron arrived with the Merlin-powered flying tree, the wooden legend, the Mosquito. That alone has its very own history, and was very nearly sort of non-existent. You've got to imagine that in the era of biplanes, you've got to imagine in the era of biplanes, you know, and then changing them to steel and metal framework, and the likes of the geodetic masterpiece from Barnes Wallis's legendary geodetic airframe using metal. And then if you were turning up to the Air Ministry going, I've made a fighter bomber made out of wood, they laughed. They were thinking it was regressing. They thought the idea of using wood was regressive. They thought no, and they brushed it away. They could not think. And the thing is, some of the things, and do you know what, de Havilland just kept going and going and going with this. They didn't let this be put off, because at the end of the day there was a lot of factors that helped the Mosquito become very successful, because at the end of the day, as the war was going on, you've got to think about what we had. Royal Air Force bombers could not match the speed of this. It was fast, it was excellent, about 400 miles per hour. And the thing is, it was multi-role. It could have the speed, let's say, of a Griffin-powered Spitfire, or a PR Spitfire with the Griffin power, but yet have the capability of having armament like bombs. So it was able to kind of swing role, really. And also the fact that steel was running low. Metal and materials were being saved for the productions of the Merlin engines for the Spitfires, for example. They needed Merlin engines. They needed all the metal for other things, such as, of course, the Lancaster bomber that was extremely successful. And wood was excellent, and there was a lot of benefits with that. There wasn't one factory that was making the production of the de Havilland Mosquito. Why? Well, if you were a teacher, you could help. If you were a coffin maker, furniture, into furniture, anything to do with wood, factories were literally people's gardens making these things. Their factories, whatever they were making, whether they were making piano makers, were helping production. If your job at that time was making anything to do with wood, then you helped out. So it was kind of impossible to actually destroy a factory of Mosquitoes. Of course, there were areas, I think Hatfield, where they actually put the whole thing together. Yes, quite rightly so. But it's got an amazing history. I'll try and get you a full history of the development. And the thing is, when I'm at Mildenhall, I always forget to tell you that the de Havilland DH-88, the Comet Grosvenor House that won the Mac Robertson race in 1934, that was made out of wood. 71 hours, it won the race, 71 hours to get from Mildenhall to Melbourne, and it won the race. It was already proven that it had the speed. Bombers could not match this. If you think about it, the speed of one of these was absolutely phenomenal, and yet it was nearly lost. It was nearly lost because they kept pushing him away, and you know, Geoffrey de Havilland just kept going and going with this. He was not going to let it go. And you know, with the factors of metal being scarce and being used and utilized for engines such as the Merlin, this really played out. And basically it was a flying tree. Anywhere when there was trees, there was even furniture rationing for this as well, for its production. And it was amazing. It's got an amazing history, and it was able to carry an array of weapons, as you can see under here, with its guns. It had 4 7.7 Browning machine guns and 4 20mm Hispano cannons. It could take 4,000 bombs. You know, there was a few bombers that struggled with that, and yet this has got the speed. And it was able to, you know, with its Rolls-Royce V12 1700 horsepower engines, it could get about 418 miles per hour, and you couldn't do that in a bomber. And it had the service ceiling as well to go with it. It's a classic in my eyes. Really, really, really amazing. And yet it was brushed away, thinking, wood? Are you serious, man? Put it away. And yet it was the key. Oh, it's oh, what, for those two? Ah, we shall. Huh?
Say they're not going.
So there we go. That's the story there with those, and they took on the lead for having the Pathfinders. They were using Mosquitoes for the Pathfinder force as well, and Marham became a Pathfinder force. So that was number 8 group of Bomber Command. They tested out the Oboe precision bombing aid, and Marham was also home to the 1655 Mosquito training unit in That was between 42 and 1943, and also operated the Mosquito, a secret Mosquito unit, sorry. I've never heard of them. It was only when I started to research the history here at Marham. It was 1418 Flight, who were a bombing development unit. Have you ever heard of them? I have not. And it's thanks to doing a bit of research I discovered that they were a bit of a secret unit here. So Marham's got some amazing history. Like I said, it's absolutely phenomenal. And there we go. And yes, I've already corrected myself. Hitler was in power in 1933, and he selected Goring to become his key air chief marshal for this his air force that was becoming. And it was on the 30th of January 1943 that Germany was celebrating the 10 years of Hitler in power, and holding special rallies for the 10th anniversary of this and his rise to power. And it was Marshal Hermann Göring who was to deliver a special broadcast via radio, Third Reich, at 1100 for the Air Ministry building. And it was a special day for Göring and Rickmaster Joseph Goebbels, addressing thousands and thousands of crowds assembled in the Schöneberg Sportpalast, Berlin's biggest indoor sports stadium. And meanwhile, back in Norfolk, Marham had other ideas. It was here where it was, here's a trick and here's a treat. Marham spoiled the day. For them anyway. Marham had other ideas. It wasn't a night bombing mission, it was a daylight bombing raid. I mean, if you're gonna spoil a party. And it was at 8:45 that this happened, in the morning, in January of 1943. Marham took off with these, the Havilland Mosquitoes. They took off at 8:46 in the morn, and the mission to spoil a party. It was 3 de Havilland Mosquitoes. They were the Mosquito B4s of 105 Squadron. Took off from Marham, bound for Berlin in daylight, I have you know. And they were led by Squadron Leader Reggie Reynolds, DFC, with his navigator pilot Ted Daisy, pilot officer Ted Daisy Sismore, flying Mosquito DZ423. In formation with them were Flight Lieutenant John Flash Gordon and Flying Officer Ralph Hayes in DZ408, and Flying Officer Tony Wickham with his navigator, Pilot Officer Bill Mackin in DZ372. So the 3 Mosquitoes took off, and they flew at wave top height across the North Sea. I remember yesterday about going low, flying low, evading radar. And then they eventually climbed to 25,000 feet in and out of clouds, and they met no opposition. No one was expecting them. And as they approached Berlin, they emerged into the clear skies, descending low level, again ready to run into their attack. The target was the Haus der Rundfunks, headquarters of German State Broadcasting Company. Now, despite having flown some 500 miles in difficult weather, they were exactly on time, RAF. And as Göring began to speak, air raid warnings sounded in Berlin. Anti-aircraft guns began to blast away. I mean, they timed that beautifully. And the sound of Merlin engines and exploding 500-pound bombs could be heard. The broadcast engineers had to shut down the transmission. Göring's moment of fame diminished. And the broadcast engineers shut down this transmission, and the tuned-in listeners were instead treated to scratchy recordings of classical music by Mozart for over an hour before an apparently furious Göring was able to return to the microphone. The bombing was inaccurate, but that's not what the plan was. It did little damage, which is great, because the effect was exactly what had been hoped for. All 3 Mosquitoes landed back safely here at Marham. And there was another one, they didn't finish there. At 13:25 in the afternoon, just before 105 Squadron crews from the morning raid returned, 3 Mosquitoes of 139 Jamaica Squadron took off from Marham and followed a similar route to Berlin, reportedly this time through some filthy weather over Germany. These 3 Mosquitoes were crewed by Squadron Leader Donald Darling DFC with his Navigator Flying Officer Bill Wright in Mosquito DZ 367, Sergeants Joe Massey and Richard Lofty Fletcher in DZ 379, and Flight Sergeant Pete McEwen as well in the other Mosquito as well. Just 1 second. And also Royal New Zealand Air Force Flying Officer Reg Morris in DK 337. So another 3 left Marham for Berlin to have another go. Why not? And as Goebbels this time stepped up to the lectern at the Schöneberg Sportpalast rally, the Mosquitoes arrived over Berlin in clear skies. This time, however, the defences were on full alert though. They must have known about that, but they sent up a great fusillade of anti-aircraft fire, and the radio broadcasting engineer stayed with Goebbels, who delivered his address punctuated by the faint sounds of bomb blasts. Roaring Merlin engines and anti-aircraft fire in the background, and like earlier raid, the attack did little damage, but nonetheless absolutely ruined the show. Sadly, there was one loss as the Mosquitoes raced away. DZ367 was hit by flak, crashed, killing both the crew. Squadron Leader Donald Darling DFC and Flying Officer Bill Wright. In the Mosquito today, where they fell, they lay side by side. They now rest side by side in Berlin, 1939 to 1945. Commonwealth War Cemetery within the city limits. The other 2 Mosquitoes did return safely to Marham, and they completely outrun Focke-Wulf 190s, which attempted to intercept them. A story that's something, you know, amazing and unique to Marham. And Marham does have a lot of stories to tell you. The 5 crews returned, and it was the first daylight raid on Berlin for them, and they were all decorated. Squadron Leader Reynolds was awarded a Distinguished Service Order. The other officers each received the Distinguished Flying Cross, DFC, and Flight Sergeant and Sergeants received DFMs. A press conference was held with the Mosquito crews at the Air Ministry in London the next day, and when they were photographed and interviewed, Navigator Sergeant Lofty Fletcher summed the mission up with a few nervous sentences and seemingly more intimidated by reporters than combat. And I have to say, on videos that I've seen, I do find it intimidating after just coming back from horrific scenes that they've just encountered, and then having microphones and, you know, media just taking photos and just sticking a microphone in your face, and again having probably lost crew as well. And but nevertheless, he summed it up, Fletcher, Lofty Fletcher. He said that we got over to the other side and we approached Berlin above the cloud. We added our contributions to the festivities and headed for home. I personally didn't see any flak, but I was told there was quite a lot of it knocking around. But after all, what the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. New Zealand Flight Sergeant Peter McGeehan said some flak popped up at us, close enough to be unpleasant, but nothing, but not hitting the aircraft. It promised to be persistent, so we dived down, setting off for home. As we were diving, we saw 2 single-engine fighters heading towards us, but we were going so fast in a dive that they had no chance, and we soon left them comfortably behind. We found cloud cover over Holland, and as we passed over the Frisian Islands, encountered light flak, and the rest of the trip was uneventful. We reached base 2 minutes ahead of schedule, and then went in for interrogation. It was late when we got our tea, but it was steak and chips, which was worth flying to Berlin for. Such amazing words, you know, said there. Well, they're still there, they're still in there. We shall keep going. We shall keep riding. So, after that, after the Second World War, Marham was also chosen to become a VHB, a very heavy bomber base. and it closed its airfields along with Lakenheath as well, and Sculthorpe. They were chosen to become VHBs, and it was to be expanded and to have 3 longer hardened runways in the Class A configuration. So it closed its runways and hangars in March of 1944. In 1946, testing out the new runways were Lancasters of the Royal Air Force, B-17s and modified B-29s of the United States Army Air Force, and this was during Project Ruby. This project was a series of test trials testing the effectiveness of deep penetration bombs such as the Grand Slam and Disney. B-50 and B-29s were also present at Marham between 48 and 1950, with the 2nd and the 307th Bomb Group, who eventually made Lakenheath their new home, which we told you about those two yesterday. Other bomb groups also spent time here at Marham also. On the 22nd of March 1950, 4 of the 70 Boeing Washington B-1s arrived at Marham, until finally the Marham's first jet aircraft arrived, the English Electric Canberra, and eventually the Vickers Valiant and Handley Page Victor. Now, part of the V-Force, the Victors, however, were converted to become and to take the Royal Air Force into a new era, the era of air-to-air refuelling, and they were flown by 55 and 57 squadrons. Marham played a crucial role in the most complex and longer bombing mission in history at that time, providing air-to-air refuelling of not only the Vulcan bomber, which had literally been brought back to life, but to refuel themselves to get enough fuel for the Vulcan to raid Port Stanley in Operation Black Buck. On the 2nd of April 1982, Argentina invaded the British islands of the Falklands. The mission was to disable the airfield at Port Stanley, and this would prevent the Argentine fighters from using the airfield. This would mean a higher air advantage and a bigger threat to the British fleet. Blue skies to the legend Sharky, by the way. The problem was that the Falklands were so far away, 6,760 nautical miles, that's 8,000 miles to you and I for a round trip. The Vulcan bomber had its, well, it was about to be retired, so it had bits and pieces all over the place, from refueling probes used as ashtrays and a range of 2,607 miles. Do you see where I'm getting at here? Bit of a problem there. How do you get something with a range of 2,607 miles to 8,000 miles? It was really designed for dropping nuclear bombs, and inch perfect precision bombing wasn't exactly necessary for that, so the Vulcan was a good choice. With a with a £5 calculator using a very technical refueling plan, which I'll show you, they used 13 Victors. Now don't forget, 13 Victors to get one bomber to Argentina, the Falkland Islands, all the way out there. So how are you going to get a Vulcan all the way to the Falkland Islands? Well, you use 13 Victors, and I'm going to show you the plan, and I'm going to show you this. But they did encounter problems, but I'll show you the situation and the whole plan. I've got a little Black Buck raid plan here. Let's get you the plan. Well, they're still in there, that's a good sign. There's my Black Buck raid. By the way, tell you what I did get the other day, which I took a little picture of. The Boeing, the B-17 evolution there from my book that I've got. There's the YB-17. You can see the evolution of that, but we'll talk to you about that when we. It's pretty cool, isn't it? That was that. Where's my Black Buck raid? Here we go. Now then, I'll show you the aircraft in just a moment. And they obviously went to the Ascension Islands to do this. If I just move over here, I'll show you the whole process They did have red, white and blue flight, but I kept it without that just to make it as simple as possible. Now, I know that there were actually 12 Victors that took part in the actual process, but they had a 13th, which was a reserve, a spare, which is why this is turned back. So you've got 2 that go on this side. I guess it was red flight, I can't remember which. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna find out which flight they were. I'll just put them on the top here. But in this flight here, we'll just call that flight 1, and then flight 2 over here, and then flight 3, right? We'll do it that way. Flight 1 over here had 2 Victors, okay? We'll start with these 2 first. These 2 Victors would start off, okay? And this Victor here would refuel that Victor and then would turn for home, which is why you've got 1 Victor here, and it would make that long journey. Flight 2 was the Vulcan, okay? Flight 2, this Vulcan was carrying on here, and well, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, we've got 10 Victors here. And if you look at this one here, this would refuel that Victor, and then this one would turn for home. This Victor will carry on and get refueled by this one and then turn for home. This Victor refueled this Victor, and then that turned for home. So you got 10 there, and then you're left with what we got here, 5 from there and 1 from over there. So you got 10, then 6. All right, and this Victor here just carried on going. This didn't get refueled, it went all the way here, and it would meet this Vulcan that was over here that got refueled by that one. Are you with me? Right, this Victor refueled for the 2nd time. That's what the numbers are. That's how many refuels the Vulcan had. And you can see already it had 6 refuels. Right, so it went from 10 to 6 to 3. So our Vulcan has had its 2nd refueling. It's carrying on. These 3 here, this Victor refueled that Victor, then went home. This Victor refueled the Vulcan for the 3rd time, then went home. And then you're left with 2. 2 Victors carrying on. Here we go. Now, the point of these 2 Victors, it was going to refuel one of those Victors to carry on, and then the other one would turn home, right? But to do that, they'd refuel each other, and this Victor would go over here to refuel the Vulcan for the 4th time, and then head for home. And that last remaining Victor would give another dose of air-to-air refueling to the Vulcan. The Vulcan carried on going, bombed the airfield, turned back, and meet that very first Victor that carried on going all on its own at refuel point number 6. Problems encountered on one of the Black Buck raids, which I must say Black Buck 1 was successful. They hit the target on the first go. The refueling probe on the Victor snapped, and that caused a bit of a problem, so they had to swap sides and refuel, but then that meant it couldn't refuel the Vulcan on this side, so it was it couldn't refuel the other one, so they had to swap and carry on. Luckily they managed to get enough fuel. The other problem as well, they didn't have many which I'll show you the Victor in just a second. They didn't have maps of that, you know. They didn't really have any maps of the South Atlantic, so they just got a North Atlantic map and just turned it upside down. So 70 degrees north simply became 70 degrees south. I've read a book. I totally loved this book I was reading a few months ago, and some of the Royal Marines, I think it was Royal Marines, some of the crew were up in Scotland, and just some of them didn't know where the Falkland Islands were. I mean, they thought it was in Scotland somewhere, but there we go. A new era for Marham came as well after that, the Tornado GR1. But just before I go into that, let me just show you the legendary Victor that we were just talking about. And here it is, the beautiful Victor. Look at this, beautiful, isn't it? And this very one, I've got some stats on this one actually. This very one was a Marham Victor. It's got here, I've got the little box for it, which is quite cool. And it's got a few stats about the Victor on this one. And this particular one, XL189, was the first Victor deployed to the Ascension and in the Falklands when it flew non-stop there on the 18th of April 1982. So this is the one where we said that Flight 1 went all the way. This is the very one, and this Victor supported Black Buck 1 overnight operation and refueled the Vulcan that bombed the Argentine-held Stanley Airport. It remained airborne for 14 hours and 5 minutes. So that's amazing, and travelling the furthest distance with the bomber and carrying out the last southbound refuelling 3,000 miles from Ascension. This Victor finally returned to Marham on the 15th of May 1982. It redeployed to the Ascension Island on the 2nd of June 1982 and carried out further tanking missions with the Vulcan during Black Buck 6 operations, returning to Marham once again on the 30th of June 1982 following further service with 55 Squadron at Marham. 189 was retired to Waddington in 1987 and put on display until scrapped in September 1989. Max speed of this is 640 miles per hour. It was powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Conway Mark 201 turbofans. That's 20,600 pounds of thrust in each of those 4 engines. And well, initially it was planned to carry the Blue Steel Mark 1 or one Blue Steel Mark 1 air-to-surface missile, or including 35,454 kilos of 1,000-pound bombs as well, or nukes. That was the whole point. But there we go. It was a 5-seater strategic bomber which turned into an air-to-air refueler. So the GR1 Tornado delivered to Marham. It was ZA601, 24th of April 1982 from Warton. Preparation for the reformation of 617 Squadron, which stood up in January 1983. Shortly followed by 27 Squadron, which reformed at Marham on the 12th of August 1983. Now, we mentioned about the 57 Squadron. They disbanded at Marham on the 30th of June 86, leaving 55 Squadron as the last Victor K2 unit, and the last Victor Squadrons disbanded Marham on the October 1993, and that left in November. So the Tornado legacy began at Marham, and the Victors... Oh, we've got something. Can we see it? Hang on. Something. Oh no! Can you hear that? Beautiful. That's how bad it is. Oh. Nah, never mind. We tried. You can hear it. The weather is deteriorating. So yeah, so Marham, with its Canberra still going from the 50s, and it had like PR7s, PR9s, which came from RAF Whitton, and that lasted until the 31st of July 2006, and it ended 52 years of Canberra operations at Marham. And like we mentioned at the start of the stream, 2018 617 Dambusters Squadrons arrived, along with 207 Squadron, who arrived in 2019, and 2023 we saw the 809 Squadron stand up here in December, and finally 2019 the beloved Tornado retired. They're still in the hangars, man. They haven't got rid of them.
was expecting that. But I'll give it till midday. I'll have a look, but I think it was around 1.
Yeah, 1 o'clock at work.
Yeah, well,
It's looking a bit ahead of schedule now.
yeah, it is. It's looking pretty grim. Completely changed, isn't it? Oh dear. How are we doing, ladies, gents, teddy bears? Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those days by the look of it. But the weather is starting to... Yeah, the rain's coming already, actually, I can feel it. Oh man, already? It's a light, really light shower. Yeah, this should be a light one, and then later it's game over. I think.
Post-Ted party. Yeah, you have to come back in December.
Yeah, Ted party. There's a lot of new stuff. International Air Don't think we can manage that.
Red Ted's on holiday, though.
We're going to never even we can manage that. That's good.
Oh, I don't know.
You never know. You never know. The trouble is,
Reggie doing an air drop.
the light is not on. By the time the party starts, it's dark.
Yeah. So you can start like you got.
You can hear it. Maybe we can get a PA and make it sound like a podcast.
Couple up the escalator. That's the way down. Got right past like this.
Yeah, luckily lately doesn't mark. Tank is just got in there now.
That's an hour.
Well, thank you very much to all of you who have tuned in today, and we may have to call it a day very soon with this weather just coming in now. It's a bit grim. It's turning out to be another classic emotional Halloween. Yeah, never mind. What can we do? This even the hat I've got on. Look at this. It's good, isn't it? What have we got here? Ground ops. Oh dear. Well, this is what happens. Classic military aviation, you know. You can get really extremely amazing days, but and wind like that that's just come out of nowhere. Yeah, we'll probably give it until 11, I think, with this. There is a real bad weather just coming in, and it's just coming now already, which is pretty grim. And we'll think about just calling it a day, unfortunately. We got to see F-35Bs, but not for the reasons we wanted to see them, taxiing past and taxiing back, so never mind, unfortunately. That's the way it is, but stay tuned just for a little bit. I'll get your I'll get Ted on for the Guards marches, or Witches flypasts. Yeah, I got the Witch's hat last year from Glastonbury. It was pretty cool. And Ted's one as well. Ted's one we actually sourced that on eBay actually. With that. And then the broom, the besom, was actually from the Witchcraft Museum at Boscastle. I don't know if you can hear it. Really bad. We're staying positive, aren't we, Ted? I know. And Aaron, thank you very much. She was a member for 18 months. Oi, oi, Ted, 18 months. Let's go. Claire Bear 50. Thank you very much, Claire Bear. 35 months. How you doing? Hope you're good. I'll see you later on. Margot, thank you very much. Witches use brooms because vacuum cleaner cords don't extend that far. Ellie J Approach, thank you very much, man. High five and a Witches fly past for gifting the Ted Coningsby membership. Ali Leyland, thank you very much. A Witches fly past for you for the super sticker. Doncaster Lass as well. A little Witches fly past for the super sticker. Mark Moody, we appreciate you being there, Nikos, don't worry. Thank you very much, Mark. Very kind words, thank you. A Witches fly past for you. Nat Sav, membership for 19 months. Wow, what a spooky day to celebrate, my favourite day. Belly Bobcat as well, thank you. Happy Halloween, Nikos, Ted and everyone. Oi oi, thank you very much. Julianne, thank you to you as well. Happy Halloween, Ted and Nikos and everyone. Witches fly past for you. Jenny B as well, thank you very much. Witches fly past, happy Halloween. And Ginger Bailey, Witches fly past as well. Thank you very much for the super. Margot, thank you very much as well. Aviation 1915. What happened to the 35s? They've gone back. Avroal, thank you for 31 months membership as well. And it is a Stowhole broom. Oh man, looking grim, isn't it? the horrendousness. Starting to change. So unfortunately, I think we're gonna probably call it a day. And as much as it upsets me, it's certainly not nice to do that. But I think we will have to call it a day, unfortunately. We tried anyway. We were here. We were going to get, as you could see today, we were going to get 2 F-35s departing, but that didn't happen. Oh, thanks a lot, Mickey Trucker, or Mikey Trucker. Mikey Trucker, thank you very much for the super sticker. Ginger Bailey, thanks again as well. We gave it a go, and that's exactly it. That's exactly what military aviation is: giving it a go and having a go and see if it works. You know, you've got to give these things a try. If you don't go, you won't know. That's what it's all about. Thanks a lot to Mikey Trucker as well. Which is fly past for you, and Ginger Bailey as well, which is fly past. Thank you very much. I think we'll call it a day, Ted. That weather doesn't look very good, does it? No, I know. I think that'll do, Ted. That'll do. We gave it a go. Well, just like to thank everyone who's tuned in. RAF Marham, thank you very much for today. Thank you very much, and happy Witch's hat down, Witch's hat down. We'll get that in a minute, Ted. It's still here. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today. We tried, and that's exactly what we do. But I want you all to have a fantastic weekend. Witch's hat recovery team, thank you very much, Mark. We're going to call it a day, unfortunately. We do get them, and this is what can happen. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a happy Halloween and a great weekend. So, my name's Nikos, I've been your witch and commentator, and Ted as well, the witch leader, Ted Coningsby on the controls. So, for the last time for today and for the week, it is see you soon. Wish you well. See you, everyone. Take care. Have a good time. Oh dear.
Spooky.
Oh yeah! Ladies, gents and teddy bears, welcome to the Ted Coningsby channel membership. I'm Nikos, I'm your cameraman and commentator. This is our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby. Just want to say a massive thank you to all our members. Guns up and oh yeah! Take it away, Ted. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, we want to say a massive thank you to all of our subscribers for getting us to where we are today. We have gone all over the country, from as far as Lossiemouth to Bryce Norton, and military areas such as air weapons ranges, low flying areas, heritage centres and special flights for TED 2. We cannot do this without your support, and your support will be rewarded. You can now join the Ted Coningsby Squadron and help fund the channel to get us around the country and provide us with the funds for equipment to bring you better content too. We have 3 exciting membership levels with awesome YouTube perks to reward you back for your support. Our first level of membership is the Ted Coningsby Squadron. You'll get a loyalty badge on YouTube, unique TCS emojis that you can use on comments and live streams, members only videos which include behind the scenes, deleted scenes, sneak previews and also music videos that Ted likes to play the electric guitar on. You'll also get access to members only Discord server and discount on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise. All of this for just $1.99 a month. Oh yeah. Our second level of membership is the Posh Officers Club. This includes all of the squadron perks, private Posh Officers Discord chat room, Posh Officers discounts on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise, and the poshness of supporting the TCS even more. This is just £4.99 a month. Our third level was inspired by many of our fans who have been supporting the channel massively. So we'd love to reward you back with this, and our third level of membership is the Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron. This gives you a more personal experience with me and Ted, with exclusive live streams and content. You'll get a free Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron patch, a private Ted Coningsby Fighter Squadron Discord chat room, a gold colour Discord username, and a higher discount on all of our Ted Coningsby merchandise. All this for just $25.99 a month. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, the Ted Coningsby channel cannot thank you enough for all your support. And it's this support that keeps the dream, keeps the stream. Thank you so much. Oh yeah.